This is the story of a recurring nightmare I had as a child. I can place my age between about 4 and 8 because that was how old I was when we lived in the house where I had the dream. My room was next door to my parents', both looking out over our back garden, which went back quite a way and ended in a large hedge, behind which was a park. My little brother and I were always keen to get a gate leading onto the park, but we never did. There was a patio below my window, but no conservatory or anything, just a straight brick wall. I shouldn't logically have worried about anything getting up to my window, but children, and dreams, aren't exactly logical. The dream was always the same, and pretty simple. I was in my bed, which sat next to the window, but rather than having my curtains drawn they were wide open. Which is how I could see the wolf, 3 or 4 times my size, snarling and clawing to get through at me. That's it. No chase, nothing elaborate, just some double glazing between me and a truly terrifying beast. Every time I had the dream I'd try something different, bury my head under the covers, shut the curtains, shout at the wolf or brandish one of my toy guns or swords to try and scare it off. But it just kept clawing away, trying to open the window and get me. I didn't have this dream night after night, but it showed up often enough, and always the same, me unable to do anything but hope that the wolf wouldn't get through the window. Now I'm sure most of you will have had recurring dreams, particular nightmares that haunted you, etc. And for a child that age, wolves aren't exactly an unusual bugbear. What makes this dream pretty spooky to look back on now are 2 things. First, the reaction I got when I told my parents about the dream. My mother told me that she had had the exact same dream when she was my ages, also recurring, only with a lion instead of a wolf. Her in her bedroom, the lion at the window, trying to get in and nothing she could do but wait in fear. Now she told me this to try and make me less scared of the dream, but even at that age, I could tell that she was pretty spooked by the similarity. But what really makes me think about the nightmare, and ensures I bring it up whenever I have a conversation with someone about scary childhood dreams, is how it ended. Our house was across the road from a sporting goods shop, but really oddly in England, this shop, along with rugby balls, cricket bats and Wellington boots, sold shotguns, air guns, and crossbows. Which for a boy my age made it cool beyond belief. Whenever my mother decided to take me to the newsagent for sweets as a treat after school, every other week or so, I'd get my kind egg or Freddo frog or what have you, and run out to stare in the window next door at all the guns. If there was a classmate or 2 with me, we'd make classic uninformed kids' judgments about which gun was the best. One night, I was having the wolf dream again, but this time I tried something new. Rather than hide or face it down, I did what any child is supposed to do when confronted with a threat. I walked to the next room and told my parents. I dreamt my father walked into my room after I told him, and sized up the beast clawing at the window. Then he pulled on some jeans, a t-shirt and the bomber jacket he wore when we went to the park in cold weather, and walked out the front door across the road. I dreamt I watched him, fearful and expectant, from my brother's window at the front of the house as he returned from the gun shop, a rifle under his arm. And finally, I dreamt he walked into the back garden, aimed up at the wolf and shot it down dead. I guess at that age you assume your dad's always the hero who saves the day, but in my case it was true. Because after my father shot that wolf dead in my dream, it never came back to trouble my sleep. Not once.